Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Welcome to the Lazy Sunday Morning live show with the Disney Nerd Herders. Today, we are going to be talking about all the new rules and regulations and restrictions in specifically Walt Disney World resorts. And we have friends to do that with. So
Yay!
today, let me see before, hopefully, I don't cut them all out of the stream. Boom. There they
There
are. We're
they
here
are.
with Carlos, the Disney World freak, Amy from AJC Magic TV, and Ron and Meredith from the Do Philly crew. Welcome in, guys. Thanks for coming.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Good morning.
I know this is a subject that is being talked over and over and over again,
Yeah.
and it is constantly evolving. The new rules, just like the changing and whatnot. And I know that I invited you guys on because I know you guys have either plans or pending plans, or your visitors to Walt Disney World, like we are, as opposed to being like you're in Florida and you can go
Right.
whenever you want. So
Right. There's definitely a difference I found when you have YouTubers, and they're doing the show, and it's ones that live down there. You'll hear them say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to go in right away," but it's because they can go in whenever they want to.
yeah.
Where we plan a year in advance, so this is like a big deal to us.
Yes.
Where it's not to them. At least that's my opinion.
And you have the right to your opinion. I agree. Yeah. It means more to those who don't live down there because we're not down there all the time.
Right.
So. Right. Anyway, so Carlos, you want to tell everyone a little bit about your channel?
Sure. Thanks a lot. Again, thanks for having me on at Disney World Freak. I do live streams, live shows from the house on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Shooting a breeze. It's an open invitation to anybody that wants to hang out and just chit chat. And Saturdays at 9 a.m. We do weekend wake up. Start off the weekend with myself and some guests. We usually have a topic or two that we discuss. Sometimes those topics don't work out, just like this past weekend, but we try to stay on them. And every once in a while, I throw a video out or a pop-up live stream.
How's the new time? The new times that you've chosen working?
Yeah, it's working out all right. I mean, it was only the first week, but it seemed to work out better. A couple of more viewers and just easier for guests too, I guess, especially on Tuesdays. Everybody's working. Yeah.
All right, Amy, how about you?
I don't have a really set time at this point. I just been kind of looking for a time and everything like that, but I've done some videos and I'll pop up. So I'm just trying to decide which way I want my channel to be directed and everything, especially now that things are going to start opening back up in this area and just feature some other things.
Okay.
Cool. Ron and Meredith. It looks very sunshiny in that room today.
Okay. All right. So we're a family of four, and there's us, and then we got two kids, and we enjoy traveling to Florida and doing videos, sharing our experiences at Universal and Disney mostly. And that's pretty much it, right? Did I forget anything? No. And we just like to, talk to other people with the same interests and make friends.
I gotta tell you, the video you guys did on Reservation System, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I stay or should I go? Check out the Philly Crew's latest video.
And then we keep playing it ourselves as Disney keeps releasing new info. Like every hour, I got to go back and keep
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's funny.
That was really good.
All right, well, let's hit the chats. How you guys doing? I'm kind of irritated a little bit because...
With the chats?
No, with the mouse, with my mouse. Because certain members of this family like to eat around the computer and gunk up the mouse and the keyboard.
I don't know who that is.
Welcome in. Well, Amy, welcome in. The Philly Crew, welcome in. James Ryan, welcome in. Jack, Sandy Claus,
Good morning, Matt.
Logan.
Oh, the puppies are at the house.
The puppies are at the
His
house.
sister's got a bunch of puppies, and he's been seeing them, and they brought them to his house. They're super cute.
Yep. Griswold, family vacay. Welcome
Good morning.
And Mouse Talk. Hello, is this the Disney Reservation Department? I'm calling about my reservation. Hello. No reservations for you.
Oh, please.
Oh, please. Call back in January. Thank you.
We got Make It Blue, a Disney adventure. Good morning.
Make It Blue. Wow. Thanks. Welcome in, guys. Anybody else? Anybody else?
It's tough. This is a
big Disney fan.
Yeah.
Welcome
good
in.
morning.
Hello.
Like talking with Carlos about the time slot. This isn't probably the best time slot because this is the day that everyone's trying to run around and relax, you know?
Yeah, Sundays middays are not the best, but
it works out for us, so we understand. You know, everyone's got
we
lives.
don't take non-viewership personally.
No, absolutely not.
Although the ones that aren't viewing aren't hearing that, so
we get a lot of watching after the replay, you know.
We're wicked smart. We're wicked smart up here.
All right, we're gonna welcome in Duke Family Chronicles. Good morning.
Welcome in.
And Eve Bubbles. Is it Evie? I want to say Evie.
I want to say Evie too. Evie Bubbles.
Evie sounds
3:06 a.m. in New Zealand. Oh my goodness.
Are you serious? So we have our first viewer from New Zealand?
Yes, welcome.
Wow, welcome in. Wow, a Kiwi in the house. Special welcome, Evie Bubbles.
Very cool.
Yes.
Good morning.
That is awesome. Yes, Evie.
I love it.
Evie. Awesome.
I love the name.
All right, so I am reading the frustration in all of my guests' faces. What are we going to do, man?
Everyone looks like they have a weight on their shoulders.
We send Disney a petition?
Yes, I think we should send them a letter. Telling them how angst we are and
yeah. All right, well, let's start with some news things that I had written down and we can go from there, okay? One thing that I haven't heard other people saying on their news streams is that I guess cast members will not be allowed to pin trade during this whole mess.
Makes sense.
So right now, none of us are pin trading.
Well, that's not true.
Oh, that's right. By mail, that's right. Yeah.
Me and Candy Mode 15, we did a pin trade virtual.
Well,
and we actually just got the pins, and I didn't even bring them down here.
Is it virtual if you got physical pins?
Well, the trade. The trade was virtual.
We did it snail mail pin trading.
Yes, it was super fun too. Took pictures of all the pins we wanted to trade, and then she looked at them and picked which one she wanted, and then she did the same, and then we just mailed them to each other.
Are any of you guys pin traders?
We dabble in it a little bit.
Yeah, little.
A little bit.
I can send pins your way. See if you want any of them.
I do a little bit too, but it's usually
like pin borders, but
Yeah.
I'm like that too. I'd rather when I buy them now, it's more what I want.
yeah.
But I do buy some for trading just for fun with the cast members at different places.
Who did we miss?
All right, MGM Family Travel snuck in. Good morning, and Alyssa Steinberg.
Alyssa.
Good morning.
Welcome in, Alyssa.
I had fun doing the thing with the I was like, oh, look at all the pins she has, and me and Sophie were figuring out which ones we wanted, and then we switched. So it was super fun.
Yes, and then we have our trading pins too. The ones that we are willing to give away. We have duplicates or whatever. And some of them are really cool.
Some of them are actually really nice.
But we don't trade just junk pins, just the duplicates and stuff like that.
Yep.
All right. Tops has Disney card trading app, which is kind of like a game where you can trade Disney cards.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, let's write that down because we have a whole bunch of those sorcerer cards.
The Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards. We have
Disney trading card app.
lots of those, and we love collecting the special, like the Halloween party.
Yeah.
And the Christmas party. Yeah.
Those are cool, man.
Yeah, we bought the actual Sorcerer's book that has all the inserts.
All right, so should I try to share a screen here because I wanted to share a screen.
All right, while you're doing that, we gotta welcome in Andy Family Adventures.
Addie.
Addie, sorry.
And you're wearing your glasses.
I know. Well, these are not my good glasses. This is my glasses I picked up at CVS prior to getting retested and finding out I needed a higher prescription. So I can see, but I can't see. If that makes any sense. We're going to welcome in Tina Marie Photography, too.
Tina
Good
Marie,
morning.
welcome in. Pin trading is such a big part of the Disney experience, although we don't pin trade, many do it, and it will be a loss for many. But it'll come back. We hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to watch a stream of there was a couple friends that they pin trade, and when they went to Disney Springs, when like the World of Disney and everything was opening, I didn't really watch to see if her husband did get a chance to trade with anybody or not, because he did have them with him. But it'll be interesting because I think the pin trader booth should be opening this week, I believe.
If you think about it, they have hand sanitizer and probably the wipes. You could easily do it and not contaminate each other. If they worry about that, then they shouldn't open up the store, in my opinion.
Anybody in the chat, if I may take a selfish moment, which we don't take enough of them.
What?
But if you could share out this stream, because I think we're down. We need 105 hours left.
Oh,
4 months. That's
getting
like
so close.
So if you want to share out the stream or not or whatever, I just thought I'd mention it. But thank you in advance. All right, so let me try to share the screen now.
See, says, I can hear him. He says 100%, Stacy.
100%.
He didn't write it, but I can hear him.
I agree with you, 100%. I agree, Stacey. Why open the store if they can't?
Yeah, so I'll have to go back and ask her if they did end up pin trading or not.
Yeah. I mean, how hard would it to be? Okay, I want that pin, and just take a little wipe and wipe it down.
Exactly.
And put it on the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I totally agree.
I think it's probably maybe too close. I don't know. It'll come back.
You don't have to get that close.
Probably. Yeah. Put it on the table and walk back. And then put ours on the table. And
the same distance of how close you are when you pay for whatever you buy.
Yeah.
You're able to exchange things there if it's okay for that. How come is it okay for a little tiny pin?
I think it's supposed to be contactless stuff, which I have. I have a tab for contactless stuff later on.
Okay.
So first of all, how many people are familiar with the new park hours once they open up? Oh, wait a second. I got a banner.
Oh my gosh.
Stacy loves my banners. Here we go. Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So we got Magic Kingdom hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Epcot, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. instead of Future World opening up at 9. But there's nothing there anyways. So might as well just open it all at 9.
What do you guys think of the hours? Like, why are they closing the parks early? Is it just because it's going to take longer to clean and wipe things down? Why? I didn't even understand why Walmart shortened their hours. It's not like they shifted it forward. Ooh, I lost my ear.
I think
I never.
I'm sorry. I think there's two things going on. One, I think they probably want the extra time to clean. But I am assuming they're down a lot of cast members. So if their workforce is down, they only can open up to what they have at the moment.
And there's no fireworks, so why need to be hanging around?
True.
Because I want to.
I know, we just hang around, but clean and then stay.
It makes total sense.
The extra cleaning. But then it's like, if you're staying in a resort and you're going back to your resort at 7 p.m., well, where are they going to go if, they'll go to Disney Springs if the hours are later. So then everybody's going to be down at Disney Springs, and how are they going to control that crowd?
Yeah. So Incognito Mouse, good morning. He is a cast member, and he says, I was given the opportunity to temporarily transfer to another department if my role is not needed. That's very good.
That's excellent.
That's excellent. I'm so happy.
Yeah, our niece works on Flight of Passage, and they're not opening up her ride right away because that is a very difficult ride in which to do the social distancing.
Right. So how you have
So she might be called in later, or she might be reassigned.
Because how a test track, you have the seatbelt, but you have the yellow strap, but you can Flight of Passage does not have that at all. So that would mean that they would have to replace the restraint so people can do it themselves.
those they have to go by and pull on your back. I guess the little restraint
Right.
that
So
pushes up against your back.
so they come in contact closely with everyone that's on that ride.
With the way it's currently set up.
Right. So they're trying to figure out how are we going to be able to open this ride up and make it safe not only for the people but for the workers as well. So that they say is one of the biggest challenge of one of the rides is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's like Ron was mentioning on his stream the other night. I'm a type of person that likes to take midday breaks, and it's going to be very concerning to me if I can't take those breaks, or if I do take a break and then I can't go back into the park, and I've blown my chance to either have to stay there or they don't allow you back in because you're allowed in once or whatever.
Right.
That would be.
And not only you like to take the break, but Avery, it gives Avery a
loves to take
break.
his breaks,
So with
yeah.
him being special needs, I mean,
Not everyone
it's
can
going
stay
to
in
be
the park
tough at
from
the end of the
open to
day
close,
for him.
yeah.
He's going to have a hard time.
And if you're making the reservation for whatever park, is it going to be a certain time period that you can only go in or stay there type of thing throughout
And
the day?
Yeah.
And Walt was mentioning too, with you pay for an annual pass, you should be able to come and go as you please.
Exactly.
You should be able to not be restricted to one park.
Right.
And I realize, adjustments need to be made for the short term. People have to give a little bit, and but still, are they going to be compensating the annual pass holders for not having that option for a little while? I don't know.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna welcome in Ray J. Good morning.
Ray J.
With the less crowds, lines will be shorter, and you just covered it up, so I can't read
Yeah.
it. And you get things done with those less hours. Yep.
You would hope so. And that's the thing I don't understand with the parades, because if they're limiting the crowd, say they're limiting the crowds, and they put X's saying, okay, this family is going to only be in this box or whatever along the parade route. You're not touching the people on the parade. You're just waving.
I know.
Why couldn't they have some type of parade?
Yeah. James Brown
I don't think there's enough space. Even with the lower crowds, I don't think there's enough space to close off enough spots to have families all separated for parade route. Because the parade route, I mean, it's long, but even with Magic Kingdom with 30,000 people in there, I don't think there's enough room to be closing off areas for the parade.
Maybe they'll do.
I think that's why they're not parades.
Do you even think with the parties, they supposedly sell only so many tickets to those parties, but when you go to the parade, I mean, you're fighting just like you are on a normal day for a parade spot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, let me show you the park hour thing that I totally discovered. This is the first time anyone in the whole world is going to be seeing this.
Wow.
Let me see. Hang on a second.
I think I saw Ryan James saying that he does rope drop, so that's gonna,
Let's share the Chrome tab. I want to share this one right here.
Okay.
Ready, guys? Now, if you look, this is can you guys see the calendar?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So if you look at the bottom of this, right, it says this is the Magic Kingdom hours. You have 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
But down here it says events. Disney Early Morning Magic Fantasyland 7:30. It actually has a time for this. You know how these other ones are blank, so they're not doing these? This actually has a time frame where people can get in early from 7:45 to 9 a.m.
Oh, I wonder if that is people that have reservations at the hotel.
I don't know. Is it an extra price? Is it an extra? Has anybody ever done Disney?
I don't think Disney is dumb enough, and to use that term, to be charging anything extra right now.
Yeah.
You're taking a lot away. I don't think they're going to be charging. I don't think that's extra magic hours. I think that is what resort guests get, the early magic or the late magic. The parks that stay open later or earlier for the resort guests. I doubt very much that it has anything to do with an extra ticket. That makes a little more sense because now you have your annual pass holders who are your pretty much Florida residents who are just hanging out, or your annual pass holders who are coming down and staying off property. I think that's a little gift to those people like myself and you guys that are staying on property.
Right.
We'll get a little more extra time. Because if that's an extra ticket, shame on Disney.
Yeah, it's not going to be I was just throwing that out there. It's only an hour and what, an hour and 15 minutes. So it's not an extra ticket, but it's more like early morning, the early
hours.
extra magic hours. Yeah.
Maybe it's like our Walmart, where in our market basket, where the
It's for the
elderly can only go during those hours. And then, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe the elderly can only go during these hours. You have an hour and
So-
15 minutes. That's it.
So, are you considered elderly?
I don't think so. I do have my
I don't know. Florida, they feel
AARP, whatever. They keep
the
sending me stuff.
the elderly is like 55, I think, in
Yeah.
Florida, versus we consider it 65.
I don't know.
So
Yeah. So let me stop sharing this thing.
we're gonna welcome in Eric Newman. Good morning.
Well, let me try to get back to here. We are.
And we gotta go back up. People are making comments. I agreed with Walt. He was saying that they should do the parade 3 times a day and allow for some sort of a reservation to see the parade to help control the crowd. I'd be all for that. If I would rather do that than not be able to see. Like, I'm talking about like the Halloween parade. I would rather have that than nothing.
That would be very tough at Disney to control.
It'd be like a
Reservation
fast pass.
parade.
Yeah.
It's
How do
how do you stop somebody from standing on any of the walkways and saying, "Hey, I'm going to watch the parade"?
Right.
You know, it's I understand Walt's point, but that one's a little tough.
Yeah.
I think. But then again, it's Disney. They'll come up with something.
Yeah, the face of that.
But
I know for me, it doesn't matter about the parade. I would say that I missed the 3 o'clock parade for many years. So, because it would be too hot, I would be back at the resort or doing something else, relaxing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't care about the day parade,
I
but
don't
like
care
the
about the day.
Halloween parade.
Yeah, that part, yes.
That's what I'm more concerned about, is that.
So, Stacey, I was seeing that they still plan on holding the Halloween party, which leads me to believe they plan on still doing the parade and fireworks, because I don't understand how they could charge that extra amount.
Yeah.
Because
And-
I actually want tickets to open back up, because I'm reading that the Halloween party is really going to be pared down. It's going to be really limited. And so I'm trying to scoff up more tickets for the Halloween. Because if I was only going to be to 7, that's my only option to get into the park late at night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You honestly believe they're still going to have the Halloween or the Christmas party run?
I think it's
Do you really believe it?
I do, because I think it's be very limited. We've done late night hours once during Christmas time at Hollywood Studios. There was less than 1,000 people in the park, and that was socially distanced.
Yeah. We weren't near people at all.
Yeah.
We went on Slinky Dog like 5 times in a row, no wait.
Yeah. So I think at that level you may only have maybe 5,000 tickets or for people to purchase for that party.
I just feel that they're not going to have it only because my firm belief, nothing that I've read, I'm just in my mind, is for the next 6 months, for the first 6 months, I don't think they're going to hire full staff. So are they going to have the staff capable to run the park and the parties at night? If you get where I'm going with that, I don't know if they're going to have the staff for it. And if you're not going to have parades during a regular day, which people line up for hours in advance, we all know that, and have it for the party, I don't think it's right either.
I would agree with you if it was starting tomorrow, but the staff you're talking about for the Halloween party is still 2 months away.
Right.
So I think a lot of things can happen between now and then.
Right.
Right now they're in, they're working on revamping the payment that unemployment people get, so that way it's not advantageous to stay home and not work than it is to go back to work. You make less money going back to work. So they're working on that type of stuff. I think that's going to be changing. So people will start entering the workforce in bigger numbers again. By then, why wouldn't Disney want to bring back their employees earlier than later? Especially if there's something like those late parties, they have those, those special parties. They cost an arm and a leg. But like Ron and Meredith said, there's only like 1,000 people in the parks like that, and yet it's still advantageous for them to do it. And they give out free ice cream and free sodas or whatever. Why couldn't they do that for the Halloween party? I mean, and it's with only that many people in there, You could
But they,
still.
that's the thing. They definitely would have to scale it down. Last year, those Halloween parties were ridiculously crowded. But
Yep.
I also believe because every Orlando guy that lives in the area bought up those season passes for Halloween parties and went every night or popped in for an hour or two.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. And they were more crowded than like 4th of July. It was like super crowded.
And they don't have to have all the rides running, right? I mean, I think it says on there that some rides may not operate during the party. So so they could operate it and say, all right, we don't have as the workforce we used to have. We just won't run as many rides.
Make it blue. Just said college programs are still aiming for fall arrivals in July and August. See, I read somewhere, and I wish I remembered exactly where, that they weren't scheduled to start until January, the college program. So I don't even know how Epcot's going to work out.
I know they've been asking cast members about volunteering for other positions depending on their locations and stuff. So I don't know if
that's so, and I know we're jumping everywhere right now. So Charlie, if you want to get back on track, I'll stop. But that takes away also from the experience in Epcot and World Showcase.
Yeah.
Without that college program and those kids from from those countries.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Epcot's even opening. I really am. Once I saw that, I was totally shocked that Epcot was going to open. I was. And then reading that, the college program not starting until January, the whole World Showcase experience is going to be, out of loop. And that's, again, another part of that experience in Disney. That's going to be missing. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. And
one other thing with the hours that I've been thinking about since we last talked about it on our stream was, what are they going to do with the Rise of the Resistance? Because that's already a virtual queue, and people line up like an hour or two before opening, which is not social distancing. Mm-hmm. So what are they going to do about that? Are they just going to, because they have to do something.
Yeah.
If you reserve, do you automatically get a slot to you have a reservation at that park that day, or what? I don't know. It's so many questions and no answer.
Can I get one more thing just to hit on what Ron just said about virtual queue? What are they doing? Are you going to bring up the disability pass at all, Charlie? Should I wait? What can I bring up now?
Go right ahead. Right. Open discussion.
They did away with the fast passes for now, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I didn't read totally into it, but are they going to bring it back at the 60-day mark, just like the dining reservations for the people that they were taking away? Not sure about that. I have also read that Disney, and we all know Disney's been wanting to do this for a long time, is that virtual queue. My point is, what are the people doing with the DAS, the disability, the DAS pass? I don't know if you get one for Avery, Charlie, and Stacy. I don't know if you guys use it.
Yes, we do.
We get it for different reasons than you guys, but we get one. Is that going to be allowed? Because now you did away with fast passes, and that's they use the fast pass queue for the DAS. And now there's no fast pass. There's no fast pass queue because they want to utilize the space, for all the guests. What are they going to do with that system?
They'll probably use. I'm assuming that they would use the wheelchair access line for the disability people at that point, because there are some, when there's been no fast pass on a ride before, they would take you through the
exit.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So,
right.
Again, who's going to be able to use it? I think they're actually going to go. This is just my opinion, which counts for zilch. For the Rise of the Resistance, I think they're probably going to get rid of the virtual queue and just use up all that queue space, just like they're using all the other lines to spread people out, because that's a huge queue, right? So they'll probably use.
Yeah, it is, but I'm not sure they're going to do that because, again, if the park's opening at 10, you may have to line up at 8 o'clock in order to ride that ride.
Right. Yeah. I knew where Ron was going with that. Yeah. And I haven't been there.
So now you're not socially distanced, and if you're not socially distanced, then why are you capping the number of people at the park? Because
how are they going to control those lines getting into the park? Like, I understand what Ron's saying. Yeah. They group up in there, into those lines. How are you keeping that separate?
So
Even-
when we went there in December, when the park was open at 8, we were actually getting to that park at 6 in the morning. And I'll tell you, by 6:30, from the turnstiles, that was already going back to where the security checkpoints were. That's how long those lines were getting back then.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it could be the same scenario here.
Maybe they'll limit the amount of people that are actually allowed in that land area first.
Yeah, but I think where Ron is touching is to get the virtual queue for Rise of the Resistance. I haven't even been there, but just watching all the streams, people get there 3 hours, 2 hours in advance just to get in line to get into the park to get that.
Which
to
supports
get that
my
pass.
argument, which is
People are still going to want to do that.
They can't do the virtual if that supports my argument. If anything, because now they can't be having tens of thousands of people waiting outside the entrance.
No, you're right, but they better announce something.
I'm thinking that's going to open. I'm thinking that's going to be an attraction you see that will not open for right at the beginning. I think that's how they're going to handle
Until
that.
they figure it out.
Yeah,
maybe.
That just tells me not to go at all at the end of the year because I already had so many plans for that ride. So
we're set we're going in November as well. I'm not worried at all about November. I'm worried, about August. I don't think you should be worried about this the end of November. By then, that's way far away, and there's no way they're going to be shutting that down for that long. I don't see it happening. But
yeah, well, there's other reasons. That I've mentioned them many times. There's other reasons I don't want to go in December.
So Carlos, then what is your plan B if you don't go in November? Is it next November or?
Yeah, we're Christmas decoration people. So if we don't go, if we literally cancel this trip and move it to next year, well, it's not cancellation. If we postpone this trip, it's definitely it's definitely 18 months, 19 months away because we can't see ourselves going any other time besides Christmas, the decorations. We've just fallen in love with it so much, and we've gone at other time of years, so we know it. We know what it's like, except for Halloween. But this just that, I don't know, that Christmas feeling, being there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would have to wait 19 months at least. 18 months would be great.
That's another idea that supports them. Another idea I've had where they should have Christmas in July at Disney World for like a week.
Oh, that's. I still want to go in July. It's too hot. It's too hot here right now. It's only like 70.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything, I mean, not this. The bonus point is if you have to wait, then you're going to be there during the 2021 celebration of 50 years. I mean, not that that's a great consolation, but hopefully,
it is.
Will be open and Ratatouille will be open, so there's more things going on.
I don't believe Toronto will be opened. Not now. Not after all of this. That's the other thing with everything that's going on. There is just so much we're going to lose out on in the next 12 months, like Toronto, like the railroad coming back. There's so much, but we've been, from our last trip to this November was 18 months too. So it's going to be 3 years before we think about it in total, before we ended up going back. That's rough. That's
definitely rough.
All right, we got to welcome in Laura B.
Laura, welcome in.
Jeffrey Resendez. Donna A. Follin, and Rachel Loves Disney. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thanks for stopping in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
Yeah, and I understand you about Epcot. I was kind of surprised too, because this would be a perfect opportunity if they are going back to work, get those construction crews in there and start banging out some of that. I mean, I understand the money is going to be the issue of getting these projects going. And I know people are hoping, well, will Spaceship Earth be open? I don't think they reopen that. They'll just have it on hold or whatever when the park opens.
I thought I heard somewhere that they've already decided that they're going on with the refurbishment of Spaceship Earth. And So even though that makes me very sad, I would have liked to have seen that one more time. But
I was hoping that they would just open it back up.
I think there was a few people that were hoping that it would open back up, thinking, well, they don't have the money to go ahead and fix it, but I think it'll be, why open it if they're going to just go ahead and move into refurbishing?
Yeah, I'm glad that they're going to keep it closed, just because that tells me the refurb's still on. I was afraid if I saw it reopen, they may have second thoughts.
Good. Let them have second thoughts. Ron, let's not have this conversation on this stream, but Ron, we'll have this conversation.
All right.
Leave the nostalgia alone. Okay, so my piece. Go ahead next.
Add to the trip back down. All right. So what else did I have here? All right. So let me try to share screen again. The more I do this, the easier it gets, right?
I'm still learning that. I mean, I know how to do it. My computer's just too slow to be sharing screens.
Let's see what pops up here. All right, so this is, yes, of course they're going to be reopening with a new park reservation system. New ticket sales are being temporarily paused. Okay, existing ticket holders and annual pass holders. I am an annual pass certificate holder.
Mm-hmm.
We have not activated it yet,
No.
but we do have a confirmation, so I'm considering that as being an annual pass holder that we can go start anytime. We'll be able to make reservation requests in phases before new tickets are sold. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, you got to wait.
You're SOL.
You are... Shucks, out of luck. That's right?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh darn
Sorry,
it.
out of luck.
Sorry, out of luck. Yeah, and
Hotel.
all new hotel reservations are temporarily paused so we can focus on guests with existing reservations.
Right,
So,
which is us. We have our hotel reservation. We have purchased our annual pass.
I have a question.
Okay.
What if we have an existing reservation and we want to upgrade? You think they would let us?
Upgrade to what? The resort or your ticket?
Upgrade to the
resort.
The suite in the castle.
Are we aware of which resorts are going to open? Because I've heard not every resort is going to open.
No.
So now there's reservations spread out, of course, to every resort.
Hang on, let me present you.
They're not opening every single one.
That's news.
What's going to happen?
I presented you.
Don't do that. What's going to happen?
Building.
Do you know? Have you heard anything about which ones aren't going to open?
I have not read a list, but what I have read, and man, I'm sorry, but I'm not good at homework. What I did read, and Ron agreed with me, is not every resort is going to open. So I'm sure a lot of reservations are going to get moved around.
So there's two pieces of info here that I found. So one, when Disney did their announcement, was it back Wednesday?
Yeah.
They originally said that the Disney DVC resorts are opening, I think, June 20th. So if you're staying,
22nd or something like that.
And Fort Wilderness.
you're good. But what they did was they said the resorts are opening up July 11th. The rest of the resorts July 11th with the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. And then they quickly retracted that, which leads me to like what Kyle's was saying, is that not all resorts are opening up. As well as you got the NBA about to resume play at the Wide World of Sports in Disney World, and they're taking on Coronado Springs.
And so is MLS. MLS soccer is doing the Wide World of Sports.
So you mean I should
They
sign
built all the rules.
I should sign that contract that the Celtics just sent me?
Yeah.
Or the Revolution.
Yeah, I know people that have DVC resort reservations. They're going to go hang out July 4th weekend at a DVC resort. And they did say that the restaurant and stuff will be open at that particular resort. So, and I'm guessing swimming pools will be too, or something.
DVC reservations open back up on Monday because Steve from Steve's World tried to do a live on his stream. So I'm getting this information from Steve. On Monday, he can call back and make any changes or new reservations that he pleases as a DVC member on Monday. So
make it blue Do you mean June 22nd? I thought the DVC in Fort Wilderness was starting at June 22nd. Yeah, June. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, mouse.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not July 22nd, it's June 22nd.
Well, the way to look at it is, okay, so the DVC people, if they go and if they already have booked, they're fine. But
Mhm.
the people that like us, we're not DVC members, but we have a hotel booked. If that particular hotel is not going to be opening, I am going to be expecting an email saying that you could pick, here's the list of the hotels you could pick from. What do you want to move it to? And then we
Yeah.
just call and do that. I
I
don't feel like my hotel will be canceled. It's not like I'm going to email and say your hotel reservation is now canceled. I don't think.
no, I don't see any reservation. I don't see any hotel reservations being canceled for this reason. I think before any decision was made, okay, Disney's about numbers. Before any decision was made about capacity and what to cancel, what to shut down, they made a click on their button on their keypad and saw how many people they had reserved, and that's what made the decision of we're going to put the capacity at 20%, 30%, whatever it is. I don't think there's going to be any cancellation of resorts. Now, I don't think you're going to get an email to say, here, pick this. I think they're going to do what they've done to other guests and say, hey, we have to move you to here because such and such is going on, or there's so many people reserved. I think they're going to cap their resorts as well. Even though you're social distance, you're in different rooms. Again, it comes down to staffing. I think they're going to cap their resorts. So in the last month, they were in this system saying, all right, from this day on, we have this many reservations, this many at Pop, this many at Polynesian. Let's do what we need to do. Let's move them around. Factor in the percentage of Florida residents with annual passes and out-of-state annual passes. And that's how they came up with the number. I don't think, Bob Chapek just sat back and says, I'm the new boss, let's do 20% and that's that. It's Disney. We know they're down to that last cent, that last dot, that last period. That's what I think. So I doubt any reservations will be canceled. Resort reservations will be canceled. But yeah, you might get moved. I honestly, maybe not you, but people are going to get moved, and there's going to be caps.
Well, hopefully, if we do get moved, it's a step up.
Right.
I'm sure they're going to try to do equal or higher.
Right.
Well, I just wanted to share this with the chats because this is super secret stuff, so don't tell. But our reservations have not been canceled yet for our dining. So
that's shocking. It really is.
No, I don't think ours have.
No, ours haven't either.
Hasn't been deleted.
I don't think some of the later ones haven't been canceled.
They know who you are. If you're wearing a Mickey shirt, they can't cancel.
They know.
No, well, but like I asked you off street, are you under 60 days? Because I'm thinking, why have you come back at the 60-day mark to make new reservations? So if you're under or just a little above 60 days, I'm thinking they're going to leave your dining. They probably took that number. Again, this is just me thinking, took that number into account and said, why are we going to take their reservations away and then say, all right, come back and Tuesday and make new ones. I don't know, Ron and Meredith. How far are you guys off from your first trip?
We're under 80. We're
under 80. Yeah. See, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you're still seeing yours. We have family who I don't think Suzanne's watching, so she couldn't even answer. I couldn't tell you where they are. I think they're in August. No, yes, August, an August trip, and everything's gone from their from their reservations.
And I know I had heard Donna and Pete and them say that a lot of their stuff are gone, and they were the October.
Yeah, and Pete's October, right? First week of October.
So
Laura later out. So
Laura because Laura is going down the same time we are. Have they taken yours away yet? If you could put that in the chat.
I still see some of theirs, so
you can. Okay.
We're linked.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. I still have some show up, but like all my California Grill reservations I had are gone. So maybe they're just slowly going through the system, canceling those.
Restaurant
by restaurant
order.
Yeah.
And again, it could be numbers. They can see that not many people, like whatever reservation you still have up, didn't make a reservation and know what the cap is going to be on allowance at that time. Because they're going to be pulling tables out. So,
but this is interesting.
He's not going to be as tight as it was, not for the first 6 months.
I still have a reservation for a fireworks dessert party at the Magic Kingdom for August 19th.
That's
There's no fireworks.
that's
Yeah.
That's it. You've heard it here first. Fireworks will be back by August 19th.
So Laura says she's 67 days out. She has not even received the email yet. And resort dining for us canceled, not parks.
I got my email that they took my dining plan away and refunded the money.
Laura, are you checking the email that's linked to your Disney?
Right.
They
Yeah.
took
Laura, you have to check
Dining
that.
plan.
And then someone made a good point. I think it was James, right?
Now, Ron, Meredith, was your trip moved? Did you have a trip that was canceled?
We have no.
No. Okay. So you're not one of those that got the free dining plan or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
So
All right.
James mentioned about housekeeping. That will definitely be changed too. But I remember last year when we did the housekeeping, depending on which
already
resort,
an option.
yeah, you could waiver the daily house cleaning, and then you got a gift card for like $50 or something like
It was
that.
$10 a day.
Yeah.
$10 a day, yeah.
So I'm sure that they're gonna, but not all hotels had that option. So I bet you they're gonna roll that out.
Yeah, DPC, they only clean every 4 days anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's correct.
We just don't do it at all. We don't care.
See, I'm one of those. I might be in the negative, but I like housekeeping every day. Go in there. I don't care if you just look around, make my bed. I like coming back to a freshly made, nicely made bed and I have never optioned out of housekeeping. My in-laws do. They love it. They're like, good, nobody in the room.
Yeah.
They don't mind. They treat that room like their home. They get up in the morning, make their own bed, and I'm like, no.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
That way though. You say we need more soaps, and they just give you a whole bag full every time. So that's you just call. We need more soaps and towels, and they give you a whole bag full. So
Yeah, we just ask for towels. We'll just leave a note asking for towels or.
Yeah, why don't we just ask for more soaps and leave a note saying just mail them to our address at home.
I got a bag full, man. Oh, man, do I have a bag full.
I pick up one point on the reservation system.
Yes.
This, out of all the stuff that's changed, this is the one I picked up on yesterday and has me the most concerned about my trip. So we're staying on property for 10 days, and they're saying for annual pass holders, they're going to restrict how many days you can reserve.
Yeah.
So for me, say that number is 5. Well, what am I going to do the other 5 days? Because most likely I'm not going to get in for half my trip into Disney Park.
Yeah.
I
you
think
called today and asked.
So I actually called reservations yesterday, and they absolutely know nothing but what's being said.
Yeah. My concern would be is I think they're trying to stop people from booking 365 days. So I don't think I think the length of our stay that we're down there, especially since we're out of towners, it would be stupid if there was any problem without it.
But here's the thing. I've experienced this in the past. Staying there with an AP resort, making fast passes, you're still restricted for how many days. I still at that point could only make 10 days worth of fast passes. When I was there for 14 days, I couldn't make fast passes for those last 4 days because I was an annual pass holder, even though I was staying on property. So because I've experienced that has me really worried about how they're going to implement this reservation system.
Was it 2 reservations or 1 reservation?
It was 1 reservation.
Do you think Disney will put a time frame where guest resorts can make their reservations over non-resort guests? Reverse that, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying is like your DV. So we all stay on property, but from 6 a.m. to like what days are they going to open reservations for guests to make reservations to enter into the parks? there's that. And then are they going to open it for different time zones? Like if you're a resort guest, you have from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. to make your reservations. After that, it's closed if you have a resort reservation, and then it's open to Florida residents, out-of-staters that are just driving down and whatnot. Because if you're going to open it all up at once and they're going to cap everything, I'm down there for 9 days, 8 nights, whatever it is, 8 days.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that I'm only going to get into Epcot once if I don't hurry up and get into that reservation system. There's a good chance I'm going to get into Magic Kingdom once out of those days, and the rest of those days I got to go to Hollywood Studios
or Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. I got to go to Animal Kingdom more than those 4 hours that I want to go. I only want to go for 4 hours. Well, 6, because 2 hours I wait for Lion King show, my favorite show. That's where I'm getting at. I am concerned with that is going on an 8-day trip and only being able to go to Magic Kingdom once because I wasn't fast enough to get to my phone to reservations. Where, and not to knock Miles Talk or Donna or any of them, but where Donna and Miles Talk, who are Florida residents, are grabbing those reservations.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how they're going to handle that. I know how.
I actually thought that they would have came up with a system. If you actually have the reservation at a resort, you're guaranteed to go into the parks because they would have you in the system as a resort guest and everything like that. And then if they have room, then you have the other people making reservations, like the annual pass holders or the Florida residents or something. But then you got, it's still a trade-off because if you're off-site, then the people that made the trip down but really couldn't get into a Disney hotel, they're not going to go all the way down and be like, okay, well, I'm not going to get into the Magic Kingdom and Epcot while I'm staying off-site and I have my tickets purchased already.
Well, please start in November. Thanks, buddy.
I've read a lot of different people wondering that they have 2 8-day tickets and they're like, am I actually going to get into the park and be able to use all 8 days on those tickets because they expire? They're not carried over like they used to be, where they had non-expiring tickets.
I'm not laughing here. I'm laughing at Mousetalk. I also understand that Disney can't, to use the better frame of the term, upset people. Is it right that resort guests get catered better than people that are staying at the, Southern Comfort, something in Kissimmee? No, it's not right because you also have tickets and everything, but we expect it. We're paying that money to stay on Disney property. We expect to be catered to a little more. So I agree with Amy where there should be a system in place where you are a resort guest, you are guaranteed into the parks.
Right.
Any park, anytime. That's what they should do.
Yeah.
I don't know about the anytime. I don't know about the anytime because you got to cap it. I get the capping system. That's fine. Magic Kingdom at 25,000 the first few months and or whatever it is, 25% of each. But figure something out where, I'm sorry, if I paid $300 to stay at Port Orleans Riverside and I can't get into a park, that's a problem.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit at my resort. There's days I do like to sit at my resort, but I'm there for 8 days. I better be allowed to be in the park for 8 days. Doesn't have to be the same one, the ones exactly I want, but I don't also want Hollywood Studio for 7, or better terms, Animal Kingdom for 7, and only got into Magic Kingdom once. Right. There's something, there's a lot. There is so much that's not out there. There's so much they need to work out, and this is just the beginning. They got 45 days to figure it out, and I don't think they will. I really don't.
All right, we got to welcome in Big Noah.
Big Noah. Welcome in, Noah.
And also Susanna's Asmer.
I'm like, that's not my Suzanne.
No.
Good morning, everybody.
Suzanne's Asmer.
Good morning.
And Mouse Talk is going to be selling them all on eBay. Man, hey, if you can make the money, go ahead.
I might take you up on that offer.
Yeah, no, they know what I mean.
But
It's different.
I know with and I know I'm switching totally off, but Universal, they're having annual pass previews next week, and my niece was able to go in. She had to pick which park she wanted, and then they had a list of times that she could go and enter. I didn't ask her if there was a time limit of how long she could stay in the park, but she could pick either Wednesday or Thursday, and then it asks either Islands of Adventure or the other park. And she's going to be going Wednesday in the morning to Islands of Adventure. But I don't know about like when their resorts are opening, because then she said her dad's going to be down later for the weekend because he'll be down there for training for his job and everything in Orlando. And she hasn't heard what they're going to do when they do open to the public, if they're going to have a reservation system starting June 5th or anything, because they do have a day or two that they could go to the park. So she's just waiting to see what happens with that.
But what I like what Universal's doing, if you look at like their park hours, they only had their park hours listed for June.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe. So they're already opening up over a month earlier than Disney. They're going to try something out, and I know they're going to refine it from there.
Yeah.
So I have some hope there. And granted, I know it's only 2 parks, but
yeah, and they put the hotel resorts into the capacity. So if you're a resort guest, you just go, no problem, no reservations. They already account for that number in the capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. They have more parks. They got more hotels. So it's totally different. But we like that.
Yeah, I agree with what Walt's saying here.
Moss Talk just said. I agree with everything.
Someone's going to be slighted. Someone's going to be let down. You just got to try to, give a little bit, and hopefully you can still make a good vacation out of it if you're still decide to go.
So a big Disney fan says just go with the flow. I totally get it, but when you have like Avery, it's very difficult to go with the flow because he needs to know where we're going, what's going on. And
it's not only that, and I agree with you, Stacy. I'm sure I believe it's a lot more difficult with a child with needs. But to go with you can't go with the flow when you just spent $6,000.
Right.
You can't. I get what Big Disney fan is saying. I get it. That's life. I live my life that way. You go with the flow. We have bad times and good times. But when you're spending $6,000 for 8 days, you can't go with the flow. You just can't. Because you spent $6,000, you only got $3,000 worth. You just.
Yeah.
I get it, but you can't. You're not in Disney, not vacation.
Yesterday, Sophie was saying to me, we were talking about the trip, and she said to me, this trip is going to be very boring. Or she said that, and then she said something else, kind of like on those lines that we're not going to be able to do anything. And it's probably going to be a bad trip. And I told her, well, you know what? If it's a bad trip, it's because you made it a bad trip, because we got to look at it. It's an adventure. It's going to be something different. I know we're spending a lot of money, but we could make the trip really bad and complain about everything, or we could try to figure out how to make it a great trip. And,
if it's not going to be at least a good trip, we're not going to go.
Right.
So.
Right. And that's sorry.
Jim Finlay.
Am I looking? What? I thought I was Ron and Meredith.
Tell us as a ventriloquist.
Sorry.
I'm like, wait, this doesn't sound like Ron. That's Suzanne's made that point because that's where we are right now. I'm at 85, 90% don't want to go. Suzanne's at 50-50. But she's made that point over and over is, do you want to spend this money? And with the possibility, and it is more than 50%, that we're not going to have a good time because is it the whatever restrictions there is, and I've brought up the masks a million times. I don't want to go because of the masks. So do I want to spend that money and have more than 50% chance that I'm going to be miserable? The trip's not going to be fun. And I don't care about parades and fireworks. I ain't talking about that. Just being miserable while you're there. Or do you want to just say, forget it? Take the money. It's paid for. Take it and just move it to next year. Granted, it's a long wait. It's another long wait, but we've done that in the past. I mean, we weren't going every year for a long time. We were going every 2-3 years. So the wait is, we're used to it. And we have great vloggers and streamers now to watch and friends to interact with. So it's different than what it was back then. We've had that discussion over and over again. Do we want to go where we feel we're going to be miserable, or wait the 18 months, God willing, that everything is back to normal, whatever normal is going to be, but no masks, no bull of this, who's going to get in, who's not, who's going to reserve. And it's not fun. It's just not fun right now. It's really not. I look forward to the 180-day mark so much because I'm a big foodie. I look forward to the 60-day mark. I look forward to sitting down on the couch and just talking every day about this trip until it comes. That's all gone away. It's not fun right now. It's frustrating. It really is.
So for Meredith and I, we've talked about this. We believe that this could actually be one of the better trips we've been on. And I think as long as we get through the whole reservation redo, that going to the parks would be like, if you guys remember what it was like pre-Fast Pass days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm telling Meredith that I was like, I can go back to my house. I used to rampage. We would rampage through that park, and I could get through all Fantasyland done in like an hour or two. I was like, if I could go back and rampage through that park and get Magic Kingdom done in a day, I may actually enjoy myself more than I have in the last several years.
So many people.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's how we're trying. That's the attitude we're.
No, it's a valid point.
No,
it's a valid point for me to think of. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go into that mindset that we know it's not going to be the same, but this is temporary. So there's worse things in the world going on right now. This is a vacation, and it's going to be modified, but that's okay. I mean, we're still going to be try to be anyway, as long as we can get it. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
and you're right. It is temporary, and this is going to change. But I also have in the mindset, my wife and I have this mindset where we're never guaranteed to go every year. I don't think anybody is. We don't know what life brings us, but just financial wise, I'll get into that. Financial wise, we know we are not guaranteed to go every year. So we are guaranteed to go right now. Okay. But even that, we can take this money and move it. So we guaranteed one trip. Do we want to guarantee it right now where all those things I said, or do we want to guarantee it for next year? We also have the 50th anniversary to think about, where we can guarantee catching that and maybe even upgrade a little bit and everything. But there's so much, just me personally, my wife and I, our family personally, with our vacations, that there is so much up and down with, with the scales. It's a lot. And that's what makes it frustrating, because we're usually just like, it's booked, ready to go. Let's get this going. And now Ron, you just brought up another perfect example. It's something for me to think about. You're right. We can go in there and bang out Magic Kingdom in a day comfortably and whatnot. Epcot and thanks. Appreciate it. Great. On that said, listen, guys, I had told Charlie I had to step out, around 12 o'clock. I forgot my wife had promised my in-laws we were taking the kids by there and doing a little cookout. We should do it on Saturdays. We ended up doing it on Sunday. Charlie, Stacy, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I wish I can continue this talk, but I'll have my phone on listening at the in-laws, and I'll let you guys finish up. You all know how I appreciate every single one of you, everybody in the chat. Thanks for popping in. Make sure you hit that like button and share it out. And
thanks,
I will.
It's fun.
Thanks a lot, and I will get you all around on the next one.
All right, man.
All right, bye, Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Carlos. Have a good day.
All right, we're going to welcome in Tammy. Good morning, Tammy. She's popped in. And then Donna Fulham was asking, do the kids have to wear masks? I heard that it was 3 years and older. Is that true?
Hang on. So I had invited Walt to add some. I knew Carlos was leaving early, so I invited Walt to join us.
Here's my thing is I do a lot of solo trips. So like for me to go down and everything, I definitely probably would still go down just because it's just myself. I've been to Disney many times. I was a cast member there. I know there's other places and different things I can do, but it would take some serious thinking if it was a family trip that I decided, okay, I'm taking my whole family and go, and some of them haven't been there in years and I wanted the whole effect. I would probably hold off taking them until the next year or when things were more opened up, whether it be spring or whatever.
True. Yes. Let's welcome in Walt from Mouse Talk. How you
morning.
doing, buddy?
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
So Laura said 2 years older, 2 years and older.
Yeah, the eBay account will be up later on today for reservation and anything else you might need.
I think
Halloween tickets will just do a 20% surcharge. And
So, Walt, thanks for joining us for the next 3 hours.
my pleasure.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, with our experiences going, we're gonna make sure that we have a good experience this trip. We go every year, so we don't have to go down there and do every single thing. We can
Right.
still salvage this trip and not have to wait, knock it off till next year, because we've been there every year. We know we can go there and just chill out or whatever. Plus, we're going to be annual pass holders at Universal as well. So whenever we're not going to have access to Disney, hopefully we'll have access to Universal.
Right.
And we also go down to visit our sister. We're down to Venice. So
Yeah.
that's going to be another option too. So we're able to make adjustments on our trip to be able to relax. And like Ron said, hopefully it is like pre-fast pass days a little bit, and it's less busy, and you're able to just go on. Maybe every ride might be 10-minute waits.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it might
if
be-
we were going to be flying down, I probably would say I don't want to go, just because I don't want to be breathing everybody else's air.
Do people have to self-isolate if they're taking a plane down there?
For 14 days, I heard that they have to be.
I think that's that the UK people were talking about that. So that might be
Oh.
a
No,
National only.
Okay.
Domestic.
I
That
don't
makes
think
more
we do.
sense. 'Cause-
Okay. I heard that too, but I didn't catch the international versus.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're even letting international.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I think it's
They
slowly
are.
is happening because Brazil, I know, is in lockdown. They're not allowing Brazil in right now, so that's not happening. I will say this: I think the people that have the biggest conundrum in this are those that are coming for the very first time to Disney,
Yep.
first time trips. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you: if I was a first timer, I'm rescheduling.
Yep.
Exactly.
You
So
got to
would I.
reschedule if you're a first timer. And even those like you, Charlie and Stacy, Ron and Meredith and Amy, even though you've been, you guys are in a conundrum too. I mean, like you said, and Carlos said, he's coming down for a specific 8 days. You're paying a premium for the experiences that are there. And if those experiences aren't going to be there, is it worth the value that you paid to come down? Is it one of those where you have to make that decision, that difficult decision to say, we need to hold off, or no, we're going to come down and understand the price you paid isn't going to be the value of what you're going to get because things will be closed. It's a difficult. I mean, we live down here now, so we're fine. We'll go the next day or whatever, but it's hard. It's definitely a hard decision.
They're saying they can't get out of New Zealand now
Wow.
either. So
Well, I
that's
wouldn't
good.
want to get out of New Zealand. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is, we might be limited to things, but we might also do things that we haven't necessarily done.
Well, it's probably going to force you
So,
yeah.
but I'm not saying that as a bad thing. You know, I feel like we'll be able to, like I said, tell Sophia, I'm like, it's gonna be an adventure. When you're old, you're gonna be able to tell your grandkids, I went to Disney when it was, during the virus and blah blah blah. But I feel it's however you make it is how your trip's gonna go.
And we're always trying to remind ourselves to slow down and take in the moments anyways. This will,
Right. This will help with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speculation is
More pictures.
we all have speculation, but I think ultimately we just need to wait for Disney to start bringing out more emails and kind of clear the air, so to speak, as to what's going on. I mean, we can speculate this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But
Yeah.
until we hear it from the horse's mouth, what are we going to do?
Yeah. I agree with James. The frustration is the lack of information.
Yeah,
those
it is.
I totally
But I-
agree with you.
But I'd rather not have the information than for them to give us wrong information and then pull it back. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't want that
Sure.
either. I don't want them to say, well, this is going to happen, and then 5 days later say, you know what, never mind, we're pulling that back. That's not happening now.
Yeah.
But
And we got to make sure that Ron is drinking during his trips.
Yeah.
I'm going to set up an IV drip on him.
We had 3 reservations made for dining while we were down here. One for Melissa's birthday, one for July 3rd, and one in September when my family was going to be down.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, the August and September have been canceled, but the July 3rd I still have.
That's weird. Maybe they haven't hit that restaurant yet.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any, I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me.
Cancel things. It's how they're going to put things back. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's,
And I did see Walt's comment, and I know This Our Dream actually has reservations at the Polynesian for the DVC part at the Polynesian for the 4th of July weekend. So I thought, well, maybe it didn't get canceled because they're actually going to have DVC people staying at the Polynesian Resort.
But that's a question too. Okay, so they're staying at the Polynesian Resort on the 3rd and the 4th. They can't go to the parks.
Well, I guess they're just hanging out at the resort and or using their points that they needed to use or something.
I guess, or can they go to the parks? Maybe that's what Disney hasn't announced yet. That maybe they
that's what I was wondering. You know, they did announce like, why are they letting DVC people go to the resorts when nothing's open? I guess just to enjoy the resorts. So does that mean the pools will be open and the restaurants are going to be open? Because what are you going to do there if you don't have those amenities or whatever? Are they going to make new previews then or something for DVC members? Or DVC might have a program going on or something for them.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let me let me show one more screen here, or actually I have a couple more screens, but let's go with this one here. See what pops up. Technology. Okay. So what they're saying is they're going to try to get rid of all well, they're trying to make sure that you try to use the mobile order service as much as possible, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which we do.
Right. And then this is not the one I really wanted to care about. So let me get rid of that one. And let me trying to share the one that is this one, maybe. Temperature screenings. Okay. So we know that you had to do this when you went into Disney Springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy, right?
Pop. That's it.
Yeah.
Half a second. Right here. They take it. Looks like a little ray gun almost. Right forehead. One click. Done.
Yeah. That's what my hairdresser did.
Yeah, mine. Not my hairdresser, but where did I?
The only thing is with that. Okay, so my mom went with my hairdresser, and it was like 88 that day, and she must have turned the car off as she was waiting for the hairdresser to come out into her car. So her car got very hot. So when they took her temperature was 100.1. Say, I know that's not 100.4, but just say if she waited there longer, her temperature could have gotten over 100.4. So the hairdresser said, is your car really hot? My mom said, yeah. So what they did is they had her go into the building now, sit in a chair, and gave her like 5-10 minutes. And then when they did it, it was down to like 90, 96 or 98 or whatever it was. So they have to factor in that temperature, because if it's 100 and something out, you're going to register a higher temperature.
Right. But remember one thing too. The whole temperature thing is more of peace of mind, because people are asymptomatic and they could have COVID and not even have a temperature.
Yeah.
So I could go in there, I could have it, walk in there, and not have a temperature, and I still have it. I still pass the test. So it goes both ways. You're right. I mean,
right.
I think the temperature thing.
Sophie could have a fever, and it's due because she has an ear infection.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And now she can't go in. So I don't know. They're going to have to change their number, I think.
Well, it's not even a matter of changing the number. It's a matter of, in my opinion, look, I said this earlier, no system is perfect. Right. There are going to be, it's not 100%. So there are going to be, like I said, there are going to be disappointments. There are people that are going to register over 100.4 who really don't have it. And then there are going to be people who pass it that get in and do have it. There's nothing we can do about that. All you can do is take the proper precautions and move forward.
All right, so I
agree with you, Stacy. It's one of those.
If they're going to take the temperature, it has to mean something.
It's peace of mind. That's what it's meaning right now.
I know, but so if I don't know.
I agree. I don't. Well, they say the same thing about the mask. Well, you know, if you're wearing the same mask all the time and you're not washing it, or if you're, you know, like over a certain amount of time, it's just gonna, you know, it gets all the humidity in there and everything, and it's not protecting anything after a while.
All right, so one more screen I wanted to share here. All right, can you see it? In regards to payments, so that's where I'm talking about down here. It says cashless transactions, which they're going to try to promote.
So
it
putting
was
it on your
recommended.
Magic Band?
Yeah, so I'm wondering.
Or a credit card.
I don't know if Walt experienced this at Disney Springs the other day or whatnot, but
What's that?
it says recommended all guests use cashless payments, including debit cards, credit cards, and Disney gift cards.
Yes.
But guests can also opt out for contactless payments, such as mobile wallets, or they can use cash to purchase gift cards. So there's going to be certain places like at guest relations or select merchandise locations where they're going to be able to buy gift cards with cash. So there's going to be certain places where you can go buy gift cards, but there's going to be certain places, right? The way I'm reading this, you're not going to be able to use cash.
Right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Cash is dirty anyways. We barely use cash. We usually mostly use our credit cards.
Well, that's why I launder all my cash. Is that a good joke? Yeah, right on time. Charlie, you walked right into that one, man.
That's good.
So James Ryan is saying that a brimmed hat, including baseball caps, can raise the temp by 2 degrees.
Yeah, you're not allowing the heat to.
Yep.
Well, that's what I said. If you're driving in, crank up your air conditioning before you go, or bring an ice pack and put it all over yourself and get in line for the temperature check. But I
big Disney
did
fans
hear they have a little booth though. If you're temperature tough, then you can go into this little tent and kind of sit there for. I guess they have a little time limit, and then they'll retake your temperature.
Yeah, take some Advil about an hour.
You have to have a lot of those booths, I would think.
Yeah, everyone, even if they had a fever, you just put an ice cube on your forehead. Okay.
So just think of the security going into these parks too.
Yeah,
they're all going to wear gloves. They're not going to change gloves every time they touch something. So they're going to have the same gloves, and they're going to be touching my stuff, your stuff, everyone else's stuff, and they're just going to be spreading whatever.
That's what I'm saying. No system is perfect. There's going to be there's going to be, you know, what's that saying? Links in the chain, or, you know, chinks in the chain in the armor, that there's going to be there for everything. It's really nothing to do.
Yeah.
Because safety is in the eye of the beholder. What I consider safe, Charlie and Stacy may not, or what Ron and Meredith consider safe, Amy may not.
Right, but that's where it's your own personal discretion of what you want to do. So if they do have a parade, if I want to see that parade and risk myself standing with a whole bunch of people, should I be allowed to do that? Like, or should I not be allowed? Because
but then it's being the possibility of spreading it or so whatnot.
Right, but they took my temperature.
Yeah, that's what they're telling you. Right?
Yeah, they said you were good.
Right? They told me I was good. So there's a lot of contradictory, and I don't know.
Well, Disney can do whatever they want. We're on their private property.
Right.
And that's the one thing that we can't argue. That point is, if they say there's no parades, no fireworks, we have to live with it because it's their property and it's their it's totally their property. Right. You know, it's unfortunate because I love the fireworks happily ever after in the parade. I think they're fun. But the one that gets me more than anything else are the meet and greets.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love the meet and greets. We love it. That's one of my favorite things to do. That's one of the biggest experiences of going to Walt Disney World is seeing Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, Cinderella, Snow White. Yeah. You're not going to have that? That's going to be tough.
That doesn't. I can live without the meet and greets.
Well, the thing is like, for example, your sister, your family's going down the same time we are. They're bringing Orion, who is 3. It's going to be his first trip, and
now he's going to have to.
3-year-old, he has to wear a mask because I think it's lower to 2 and up. And then he's not going to get to meet any of the characters.
Yeah, that's
like the character when he was little. Anyway, he was scared, so it worked.
But still,
but I had to hold him.
Right.
This goes back to if this is going to be
Yeah.
his first thing, then maybe they
Right.
shouldn't be bringing. They should wait until next year
Right.
to bring him.
Yeah, I'm worried about Avery not being able to wear the mask. You
Yeah.
know?
Well.
I don't know. He might be able to do it for a little time, and then he might have a fit in the middle of the park and not be able to wear it.
Have you guys, like, has he practiced at home at all with it?
He does not want to leave the house because he doesn't want to catch the virus. So, like, this is going to be a challenge.
That's part of him being lazy and just wanting to play on the computer too, though. He's saying
It could
that.
be.
He went out with us yesterday. We stayed in the car, but
He didn't.
we're
Yeah,
going
he
to
didn't put the
start
mask on.
practicing. But I imagine if we also bring a note or we have
They don't
some
need the
masks that we're
notes.
waiting for in the mail, 2 different types.
Good.
Like with Meredith, we're trying to try different types to see
Right.
what works. We've ordered some of those scarf ones,
Mhm.
not the bandana, but they're like
Right.
around the hole. They're like
Mhm.
they do 20 different ways or whatever. So hopefully those are more acceptable for Avery.
Mhm.
If not, yeah, we'll have to take a lot of breaks and whatever, go into.
I'm sure they're going to set up stations around the park of the maskless breathing section. Like when they had the smoking section, it might now be the maskless breathing section because
Yeah,
people
but is that
are
some
going to
way
be
you
getting
wanna-
There'll be nobody in that section.
That's something you want to take advantage of? Because this is I want to die section. It's
Well,
like-
no, but people are getting headaches because they're breathing in their own carbon dioxide. So they're going to have to be able to take the mask off, or people are going to be dropping in the parks. Then everyone's going to be thinking, "Oh my God, they're dropping because of the virus." You know, it's going to be like helter skelter. So there has to be spots. Do they go into first aid? You know, they have to go to first aid, or is it they have to go into the bathroom in their own stall and take the mask off?
What I told our kids is, you need to if you need to breathe, just have that bottle, take the cap off, then you take your mask off and just take little sips, and just milk it until you're good enough and put the mask back on.
Yeah, that's true because they can, and that's the thing. Okay, so
You got to drink too.
Everybody's going to be walking around.
around with a boba bottle, right?
But again, you're right. You're 100% correct.
Walt's going to get that on eBay. He's going to have.
I'm selling water on eBay, by the way.
So one of the things, not to diverge from Disney for a minute, but Ronnie's getting ready to, his travel baseball team's picking up. He's going to wear a mask while he's playing baseball in the field and everything.
That's going to be so hard.
Yeah.
And he's already tried using it, working out, running, and he's like, it's impossible. So I'm already walking him through. I don't want you getting headaches or feeling like you're going to pass out. You got to practice. You got to take it off.
Outfielders have to wear masks too.
Wait a minute. He's playing baseball and they're making him wear masks?
Yep.
No.
Look, baseball is the epitome of social distancing. Every single player is at least 6 feet apart.
I know.
Yep.
That makes no sense to me.
And it's outside.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Football, basketball, there's a ton of contact. I get it. Baseball, how far away is the shortstop from the third baseman? 15 feet? How far away is the shortstop from the second baseman? 25 feet?
Yeah, it's the base runners, though, right? The base runners.
It's the base runners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Outfielders, they shouldn't have to wear masks.
But even the base runners, other than first base, second base, nobody covers the bag. There is nobody on the bag. Third base, there's nobody on the bag. And you're still all alone. I coached baseball for years. The only one you really have the issue with is the first baseman. Okay, so the first baseman, when a base runner gets on first base, he has to put the face mask on if he's holding the bag.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. I'm with you, Ron. I don't understand that.
So I didn't mean to diverge, but it's just another point where it's just tough all around having that mask on at all times. And we need to be creative to know that we can just take it off if we need to get some fresh air in.
Yeah, and not be around other people, you know.
Yeah.
There's plenty of, it'll be limited capacity, so be more space to go hide a little bit and take it off and breathe.
What if they created now don't get grossed out or anything, but I'm talking about instead of like things that look like porta potties, but they're not porta potties, but they're actually where someone can go into this little thing like a porta potty.
Which would be 120 degrees.
It's just like a venting cooling station, and they put like 5 or 6 of those at every land or whatever, where people
if
can
it's like
stop off
a
and jump
cooling
in there.
station, that is a possibility.
You can see when it's open. You can see when you're sitting there for 2 minutes and just get a bunch of fans blow on you. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea, but Disney's not going to do that. Disney's going to they're going to basically say to you, and they probably have already put it out, something like that with COVID. They basically have said you're at your own risk when you come into the park, and they're going to basically say know your body, and if you feel you need a break, go into a store or go get something to eat. That's probably what they're going to do. I hate to say it, but that's because wearing the mask down at Disney Springs yesterday, it was like 92 degrees down there. It was hard. I walked up the steps, just walking up the steps with the mask on. I was like, I got dizzy for a second. I'm like, holy macaroni, it's really hot. It's going to be difficult for people. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, and that's a good point too, because I know in August I'm running from AC to AC, and I'm running either going from ride to ride. So I'll have problems maybe just for a couple minutes if we have to be like Thunder Mountain outside. That's like an outside thing for a little while.
Sophie's gonna have a hard time
in the sun, but
she overheats, and then she's on the ground.
I imagine I'm not going to have as much of a difficult time as I'm thinking I'm going to have, because again, we don't wait outside for the parades. We're not going to have a parade.
We'll have to get you a cooling towel. You're going to have to just use it.
Yep, do something like that too.
You know,
we could get fans to go around the neck, so they blow air. Right? I don't know if that's good, blow the germs at us, but.
I'm not afraid of germs. I'm just afraid of the COVID germs, right?
Yeah. I mean, how many times we've been to Disney and there's so many germs that everyone's touching everything, and I mean,
Disney World.
Make sure we do hand sanitizer anyway, and tell the kids don't touch anything. Yeah. Don't have to touch it. I've been putting this into their head since they were little. I'm like, don't touch the railing.
There's so many people coming from all over the world to Disney World. There's so many germs.
Right. And you have people that let their kids there licking the railing. It's gross.
Yeah. I only do that on the Buzz Lightyear ride.
We have a sign from Avery.
We have a sign.
He's hungry.
He's hungry. When's lunch?
The bulletin board. What's it going? What's it say? Is it clean? What's it say?
What's it say? What are you doing for lunch?
Can't read that. Says, what are we doing for lunch? What are we doing? What do you want to do for lunch?
I want Blaze pizza.
Well spying.
I'm so in the mood for Blaze pizza.
Yeah.
The only one we have is in the mall, which is closed.
Which we just watched Walt and Melissa's Blaze Pizza video, right?
That made me want it. I've been wanting Blaze Pizza since I saw that.
Melissa's pizza looked a lot.
My concern is Avery. Not only about the mask, but he's so paranoid about getting the virus. He's not going to want to touch anything, which is a good thing. But I'm afraid he's not going to want to go on a ride because he has to pull the lap bar back, or you know.
Well, we're gonna have to manage that.
And we're gonna have to find a whole lot of hand sanitizer, because I think he's gonna go through it like anything. He's just gonna be, and he won't wear gloves. I doubt he'll wear gloves. Just for.
It looked like they had a fairly good amount of stations throughout Disney Springs of hand sanitizer, but I also have been stocking up on little bottles for trips. So I have it for myself. Like you said, you're going to need a lot of hand sanitizer. But when I was watching Nick the other day, every time he went by one, he would show it to you, or he even went over a lot of times.
Were those the hand washing stations, were those actually connected to hoses?
Yeah,
fresh water or?
Well, there weren't many of them down at Disney Springs at all.
No.
Okay.
They did have. Not the hand washing ones where you had to pump, to get the water in that. But at every store that you went into, each store had a specific entrance and exit. In the old days, you could just enter and exit whatever door you wanted.
Yeah.
It's not like that now. There's specific exits and specific entrances. And each one of them, you have hand sanitizer stations waiting for you when you enter and when you exit. And then throughout the store, like in the co-op, there was a couple here and there. But that's all we saw, and we did a lot of walking.
Were they no touch? No touch ones?
Yeah, just put your hand under it.
Okay.
But it wasn't a pump
That's
one.
good.
No.
Yeah.
Put your hand there, and it came out. So they had plenty of them, and they had people ready at all the stores. They had the 6-foot lines on the ground and all the way around if they had to. So there was plenty of notification as to where you need to stand.
Did you come across any empty sanitizer where you went like that and it was empty?
Yes, because that's going to happen.
No, I did not.
So hopefully they were on top of that.
Well,
Yeah.
again,
I'm just thinking-
the crowd levels are going to be really low. So, that's what I was telling my son. I was like, don't think of it like a normal day at Walt Disney World. It's not going to be like that. You're not going to have 75,000 people in this park. You're going to have less than 20% or 20 to 30% in that park. It's going to
But
be.
they're going to also have less staff, though. Are they going to be able to keep up with refilling those hand sanitizers?
Oh, I'm sure they'll make a concerted.
That's going
You know?
to be priority.
That'll be
I
a
think they'll make
priority.
it over there.
And
Yeah.
it seemed like they made it clear that they were having staffing just for that type of safety, like a safety crew or whatever.
I would think that
things were.
if safe, like our niece is Flight of Passage, and if they're not going to open that ride because they can't figure out how to social distance yet, I would hope that they would offer her, well, you can do the hand sanitizer in the park until we figure out what we're going to do with your ride,
Yeah, but even that, they can find ways to do that because first off, when you're on Flight of Passage, you have the 12 different bikes, right? Okay, every other bike you put a person, so you can't be right next to it. Every other bike you put a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, you have different rows, like, there's people above you, below you, to your left or to your right. Okay, well, the row we just did for the next ride, nobody uses that one. We have to wash it down. And they can keep rotating rows and seats. They could find ways to do it if they wanted to. They can't have that ride down.
Well, they have to figure out how to do touchless safety harness. Right now, they have to touch each one, and they're very close to us when they do it. They have to figure that out, and they haven't figured that out yet.
The back.
Yeah, they haven't figured it out yet. So they might have to install either ones that automatically does it and doesn't have to be released, or a pull thing where we pull it.
Add a strap or something.
But I'll tell you, I've had 3 times where my safety strap didn't come off, and someone had to come and physically help me.
Harness. Yeah.
My harness, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Is go ahead.
No, I was just thinking out loud. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. I was thinking, well, maybe they could put paper, like those little paper things or something on top of it, but then they would rip or whatever.
They could do that too. Like they do. Yeah, you could do that. You could put a paper thing on the back, and after each ride, you just throw that one out and put the next one down. They could do that.
Yeah.
They do that in doctors' offices and stuff.
They do.
They do. Yes,
They
true.
put it on the table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I know on Smuggler's Run, originally when this all first started, they took away the cards, that they used to pass out, like the pilots and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So they took away that part of it. The other, they'll have probably the same problem where you're in that cockpit. So does that mean how are you going to set up? Because really, you can't really run that ride without having at least 2 pilots. The other seats you can kind of do, but it still wouldn't be that fun.
Yeah.
So how are they going to do something like Smuggler's Run?
Well, you could Smuggler's Run. You know how they hand you the thing that says pilot, engineer, gunner? Make them paper. Just like they do with menus. They could be paper and they're disposable. You keep it, throw it out when you're done.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could just make paper ones.
This has that issue too.
Well,
And
they could
maybe-
do a family per ride.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're just gonna have a family per pod on that.
Because we got 4, so then they just
Yeah,
won't.
exactly. That'll work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure something out because there's a lot of riding it several times. There's a lot of uneven
Numbers. Like
parties.
if a couple just goes, how are they going to run that ride? Except they could be the pilots and then everything else is on automatic.
That's what they would have to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do we talk about, like, are they going to get rid of single riders?
like that?
No single riders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, like, even if you do like Everest, if you're a single rider, they'll dump you in there. So
Well, not right now. They're not because they said they weren't doing any single rider for a while. Everything's going to come back. At
So
some point.
everybody's just going to have to get in the regular queue and queue up.
So Walt, so you mentioned everything will come back. I'm not sold on that. I'm thinking this might be a good time for Disney to experiment with things that maybe like Max Pass will come here, like they have at Disneyland. So I'm wondering if Disney World, this is an opportunity where they could maybe try some things to see if it would work once they can get back to full capacity.
Well, I guess, but I don't know a lot about Max Pass. Is that something you have to pay extra for at Disneyland?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Man, they better not.
I know, I don't like that either, that I have to pay.
That's another nickel and dime way to get more money out of you. And, I can see it at Disneyland because Disneyland is so small. It's not anywhere near the size of what we do at Walt Disney World. I understand different avenues of revenue that they might need, but man, that's going to be a lot of upset people to get rid of Fast Pass.
I thought it was like $10, $20 a person.
That's a
I thought it was more than that.
Was it?
Wrong.
I don't know either. Yeah, it's going to be an opportunity because theme parks around the world have always been focused on how many people can we cram into the queue and how many people can we process in an hour type of thing. Is it a high capacity ride or whatever? How many people can we get done through this ride as quick as possible and cram them all in?
Right.
They got to now start thinking differently in regards to queue management and space management, and not just see how many people we can throw through this ride in an hour, but also by keeping them safe. And that's a lot of rides need big adjustments. They're going to need a big adjustments. So
now, the other thing I was just popped in my head is that when we're down there, your family is going to be down there, so we could be a party more
might
than
be
8.
down there. Yeah.
Are they going to limit the parties?
I don't know. Family
They can't
party
because
shouldn't
it's family, right?
Well, they didn't yesterday. We went out to brunch with Diz Our Dream and It's Joey's World yesterday, and it was 7 of us.
Nothing. No, they didn't say anything.
We sat together.
Okay.
We all sat together.
Did you guys wear masks? Did you feel safe with someone outside your family?
I did not feel safe at all. I didn't want to sit with those people, but they made me. And no, I'm just
Wow.
yes. Again, safety is in the eye of the beholder. I was fine with it. I didn't, it was fine. They got in. I was fine with it. Melissa was fine with it. We sat right next to each other, and nobody.
Yeah, I got to tell you,
It's going to be different for everybody.
The cast members have voiced their concern about fights breaking out, because believe it or not that we have seen anything, but there's constant fights breaking out in Disney, especially in Pandora Land, I want to say. So
Really?
yes,
Wow.
that's daily, no lie, daily. So
That's the Navi. That's their
That's insider information.
So just think of if I have my mask off because I gotta take a breather and I sneeze. Could be allergies, but you don't know. Another person might come along and be like, "Hey, you should be here," and something breaks out.
Okay. But what if you're sitting at a restaurant, you're eating dinner, and you're supposed to have your mask off and you sneeze?
Well, that's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Ultimately, what does it matter? Whether you sneeze out there or whether you sneeze sitting down, your mask is still off.
But
Right.
Stacey,
I always
point,
my shirt.
because I've coughed a couple of times at market baskets just to clear my throat, and like the death stares that I get,
Yeah.
I know that's
and it gets me going, and I'm almost like,
What's your problem?
"What's your problem? What are you looking at?"
exactly.
Wanna go?
There's gonna be fights. Ron's gonna be fighting with people. And
Leave me alone.
Bro.
Right. So I get like one of my meds gives me like dry mouth and dry throat. So if I talk a lot, like that's you see me with hoarse voice or I start coughing, and that's what it is. But I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. I just feel it's gonna be just totally crazy.
But you know what? The thing is, everyone that will be going will be annual pass holders, most likely, and DVC resort guests. These are the people that love Disney, that worship Disney, that treat Disney with respect. It won't be the people that come in one day and just, how they don't love it like we love it and respect it like we do. So I think it'll be people like us that love Disney and have a different mindset. So a lot of people that just don't care as we do. They just want to go and they track
And this is what I said to somebody, and it's going to sound really unempathetic, but if you're really, really, really that worried, then don't go. Wait until then. Don't go. I mean, it's like I said that to a friend of mine. He said, "Well, I don't know if I want. If I go to the store, blah blah blah." I said, "Then don't go. Order from Walmart and have them deliver it to you." You got to feel safe, and you're not going to have fun if you go to the parks and you don't feel safe.
Right.
And now you've wasted your money. I'm talking as a general term. If it's that's the thing is, then wait till the next time when you do feel safe, because your enjoyment, the amount of money you pay to go, you need to have the best time ever.
Yeah. Evie says that she has an asthmatic cough, and people stare at her with the doom look. Which, yeah, I totally get it. Jonathan,
I don't even notice if people are coughing and sneezing.
Right.
I just don't.
there's a few times where I've had to cough at Market Basket, and I was like, oh my God. And I try to wait until there's no one around to do it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I mean, I have my mask on, so, it's contained, but.
I try to make it worse. I point at her and I say,
I did it. It happened to me last week. We were near the deli, and the lady was at seafood, and she kept turning around because I coughed a couple of times. I ended up getting closer to her in order for a lobster. And then she quickly just ran away, and I was like,
So people like Ron, I gotta pause trolling this.
Hysteria.
Hey, I got a lobster in the deal. I'm not complaining.
I think one of the things with Florida is I don't think they're requiring, in general, they're not requiring masks, but places are or businesses are. So some people, I know I have a friend that lives down there now, and she's not going to go to Disney or Universal and that because they require the mask. She's been going to places where she doesn't need the mask or whatever, because she says it's too hot. They don't really require it. It's just those businesses are requiring me to wear the mask. So, that's probably where some people gone. I've read on like some of the message boards where, some parents are saying their kids are cast members at Disney Springs, and they were told to tell people you need to have the mask on before you get in there, and the person's angry at them and fighting with them, like you said, but that's what Disney's requiring. But then I've also seen where people are saying, well, they're really not enforcing that much around Disney Springs. Now, I haven't seen it firsthand. I can only watch it on somebody's stream, but Walt has been there firsthand, and people have said that they've seen a lot of people with masks and some not. So,
well, I agree. Well, I mean, I disagree, but I understand what you're saying. From what we saw, and Melissa will back me on this. I am one of those people that I look for everything. I'm very observant.
Yeah.
I look for stuff. Very few people without masks. Very few. And they stick out like a sore thumb. And that's the other thing too. So I don't know what other people were. Maybe it was the days I was there, and I've been there already 4 times since they've reopened. Very few people without masks.
Were those people without masks? Were they like getting attacked or verbally abused or anything?
I've watched many streams of not only Disney Springs but the City Walk, and everyone I saw had masks on, and I think City Walk was more strict and they enforced it a lot more on City Walk than they did Disney Springs, which I actually thought was interesting, because I would think that Disney would be more not protective, but more strict with that type of stuff than Universal's, but it was the opposite.
That's what I also heard too. The same people that I was watching said that at Universal, they told people you put that mask on, where when they were walking around Disney Springs, nobody came up to not that I'm saying there's a ton of people out there, like you said, Walt, but if you notice them, they do stick out, but nobody really says, hey, you got to put that mask on.
Right. See, I saw the exact same thing.
Yeah. I guess the other thing too with me is when I look at the size, City Walk is like maybe half the size of Disney Springs. Disney Springs is too. City Walk is a condensed small area where and it's all funneled in one direction towards the park.
Yeah.
Disney Springs can go that way, this way, that way, that way, this way, that way. All these little different nooks and crannies and
Crannies
crevices
and stuff.
you get into. It just, again, no system's perfect. Again, the minute you walk in there, somebody wants to take their mask off. You know, they don't have the Disney Springs police walking around saying, "Put it back on." They
Yeah.
could,
You guys-
I guess, but there's
Have you
just
guys
not
heard
that-
anything? Heard anything solid about whether or not they're gonna make you wear masks on rides?
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
I haven't heard anything yet. I would assume if you have, I would assume if the only time you're supposed to take it off is when you're eating, then yeah, you're probably going to have to wear it when you're on the ride.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree.
At SeaWorld, they're tested with all different masks. I guess cast members wearing masks on the big roller coasters at SeaWorld, and they stayed on the mask. So I think they were
I would
tested.
say because you're going forward, so it's
Yeah, I
pushing.
mean, you're pushing
on
the
you.
mask into
Yeah.
your face.
If
Yeah.
anything, you're going to be smothered to death.
Oh, man.
And then you wonder, well, what type's going to work?
The roller coaster will roll in after the ride, and everyone's like,
They're going to wake up and go, "What just happened?"
You got to get a video of that.
And what types are going to work? The ear loops, or you're going to have to attach it somehow, like your glasses, so it doesn't go flying?
Yeah. Sophie
So-
wore. So I took Sophie to the store for the first time yesterday, and it was her first experience going out. We've gone for walks and
in 3 months, yeah.
yeah, people haven't been wearing masks during walks or whatever. We just stay on the opposite side of the road. She couldn't get over it. She felt like it was like a zombie apocalypse. Like she just couldn't get over what the world has become, you know. And then she went she made sure she didn't touch anything, and she was very mindful of that, you know. So she felt like it was really tough for her, you know. She was worried the whole time, you know. Even though she didn't touch anything, she had a mask on, but she was like almost in shock, you know. So it was interesting to see that for the first time. Avery, I have no idea how he's gonna be.
We haven't brought him out in public place.
He won't. He won't go out. You know, we had to really force him to go for a car ride where he's not even leaving the car. You know.
Again, part of that is just him wanting to play the computer game. So
I know, but I think he's gonna have a hard time no matter what. You know.
Again, it's
And I think it also makes you feel guilty, like when you are out. I know I have a hard time trying to reach something on the top shelf, and if nobody's around, it's like, okay, how do I get this? I need to look at that or something. So I hate to touch things like what you're saying when you're shopping or whatever, but then I have no choice at sometimes. Or you want to look at something before you actually get it, you know.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like, okay, anybody around to really see me touch that and put it back or whatever.
You know, James Ryan is making a comment about how it's going to be tough to keep the mask on. But I am thinking that, okay, so I have the mask on. I go on Splash Mountain. Or no, I go on a ride that you have to pull the lap bar down. So now my hands just touch the lap bar.
but
now,
it's probably been cleaned though.
But okay. And then I'm on the ride. And
well,
now I have
it has been cleaned. I can guarantee you that they're going to clean it.
You
every
think they're going to clean the lap bar 100%?
They're gonna wipe it down.
They better, because what that'll do is if you see it, Stacy. Let's say you're waiting in line and you see that person that doesn't clean that lap bar. Exactly.
Yep.
What does that do for them?
All over the
That
place.
is bad news. That, look, perception and reality are two different things. But you know what the perception is going to be. Disney's not cleaning anything in there.
Mm.
Look at this. This guy didn't clean this. What is everybody else doing? They are going to be sticklers about that. That I think they will, because you're right. You hit it right on the head, Charlie. Somebody's going to pull out that phone and go, let me just video this and put it on YouTube.
Some
Well, my phone's
cast members.
I'm
who were
going to be
tired.
ready.
Right.
You got the GoPro on. What are you talking about?
Ron's
already
the
gonna have
troublemaker.
I do think I get what you're saying, but I think in those respects they better, because there are people looking to find chaos or
Right,
trying to
but-
find controversy.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this though? We're on the way in the poo. They wash down the lap bar. They put it over, but you have one of the kids touching around the rest of it and putting the hands on. Are they going to wipe the seats? Are they going to be wiping the whole thing down? Because you can touch,
I think they're gonna the
Like-
high touch areas are gonna be the
like
ones that are gonna
Splash
be wiped.
Mountain. You have the bar, right? So you can get that to touch, and then you also have the front of it, which people might you touch that to hold on to instead.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. I mean, there's again, like I said, there's no system in place that's going to be perfect. You're right. But I think Charlie's right. The high touch areas, the high traffic areas are the ones that are going to be the most looked at.
Mm.
They're not going to be able to do 100%.
They can't do
No,
it
they
all.
can't. I mean, it's physically impossible. I mean, and I think I can't expect that from them. But what I can expect is the high traffic areas to be clean. Well, I'll just say this: there's 331 million people in the United States. Less than 1% have even been diagnosed with this. Less than 0.1% have passed away from it. So we've done a really good job, of making sure that we've kept it at a minimum, and it's going down every single day. But the numbers are small. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, and only about 5% know those numbers, which is what's causing panic and stuff too.
Well, right. It's just a matter of looking. I don't know. I mean, it's really contained well. I mean, nothing's perfect, but
don't you guys remember several years ago when they had the H1N1 that was supposed to be rampant down in Florida? I mean, it was another thing.
What did they close for that? What did they close for that? Nothing.
Nothing. No. We didn't even think of it. We just said, all right, a little more diligence, making sure we're using the hand sanitizer and cleaning our hands.
But we did go to the hospital on there because Ronnie did get sick. And, we were nervous that it could be that, but it wasn't. It was an ear infection or something like that. But,
It's always better to err on the side of caution.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's, don't panic.
Right.
Also, I'm not sure Splash Mountain's going to be open.
Because the wet.
Oh.
You're going to get your mask is going to get wet.
Yeah. So.
Sit in the back left. You'll be fine. Back left, you won't get wet.
Here's the plastic bag with the little holes to put your ear.
Yes. Put on a raincoat and just go like this.
And maybe they can give you a face shield, so you're going to wear a face shield on it.
Plastic shield.
Oh, you know what? I actually saw somebody down at Disney Springs with just face shields on. Like one of those. It was like one of those masks you pull down when you're like.
Yeah,
welding or something. Yeah.
Oh my God! Really?
I felt bad because I actually took a double take. I went. They didn't have masks. They had on face shields.
I'd be like, "Excuse me, can I take a picture of you? I want to put this on Instagram."
You see some of those shields, they're like this, but all underneath is not blocking anything.
Yeah, not helping.
They let them in.
Yeah.
They let them in.
You see people that have the mask, but they're not closed in. They're very loose.
Or they have the mask on and there's a hole cut right in the middle of it. So yeah, I'm wearing a mask. But these people are gonna be trying that type of stuff.
Oh, I have one with a little hole that I'm selling for. You can stick a straw in.
There you go. There you go.
But if we see everyone driving alone in their car with them on, I'm like, why?
Well, I don't even know why I have one in the car. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
No, I think they forget. Yeah.
I don't think it's like taking your bra off at night. I'm ready to rip that thing off.
I wear my mask in the shower.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Thanks, James Ryan. Appreciate it.
I'm
James
glad
is saying
I
how
wasn't
often
drinking when you said
are.
that. I would be like, oh my God.
All right, so we are coming up on the 2-hour mark. Does anybody have like something that they on their agenda that they wanted to speak out, or an important subject or something like that, or we can close off on? Or
Thanks for having me.
I know I want to make sure that when we go into the parks, I want to at least have some time with Ron because I want to see how it unfolds with him.
we're gonna be shadowing you guys, just looking for.
We'll be behind you watching.
Because I will definitely push the boundaries. I'm kind of that person. Like if you tell me someone's going to start complaining about something I do and I know it's in the rules, well, I'm going to do it even more. And she knows I'll antagonize.
So if I'm there, if I'm there, I'm gonna increase it. I'll be like pointing at you.
Yeah. So if
you believe this guy?
But if our group reservation gets canceled, we're going to try to reschedule around the same day, same time, as much as possible. So
Yeah, but we're not resort guests at that time, so we might not be able to get in that day.
okay.
Universal.
Oh, yeah, that's all up in the air. It's all up
But
in
I
the
was
air.
thinking
Okay.
maybe we can all meet together at Disney Springs because that is not limited. So if we
Oh,
don't get
yeah.
together, we can
That's a good idea.
make
Yeah.
a YouTube night with all the locals, and meet up there. So
Okay, yeah, we can. Yeah,
that's
we'll
a
add that.
possibility.
All open, yeah. So yeah, that's very good.
Okay, I'm writing it down so I can add it to our itinerary. Meet up.
Well, the parks are gonna be closed early and no fireworks. So what are you gonna do at night? You have more opportunity for that.
YouTube meetups every night, 9 to midnight.
Well, that's
Springs.
true. I mean,
7
yeah. I mean, that's what we could technically. Is Disney Springs shut early as well as the parks?
10:00, right?
So it's not like everyone can head over to Disney Springs.
How
Now, when August rolls around, that might be a different story. But right now, they're closing at like 10 o'clock, 10, 11, right around there.
That's
that's
still
late
about
enough.
the same time as it always has been open. I
Yeah,
think
so-
during the weekdays.
So after the park, we could always head over to Disney Springs.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. All right, cool.
So that's an option.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you all for joining us today. Amy, do you want to let everybody know what you got coming up on your channel?
Right now, I just have a couple videos I'm working on, and I may do a surprise live stream later this week. Kind of playing around with the time with like 5:30 on Tuesdays. That seems to work for me and everything. So that's going to be where I'm at right now. But nothing else really planned. But thank you.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us because
Thank you.
you
Yeah.
always have good insights.
Yes.
And James also mentioned all you guys and Carlos for having a good cross section of people in here that provide different points of view and whatnot. So Ron and Meredith, any more music videos coming up?
No, not on the horizon.
No.
But you never know.
Yeah.
But we're still doing our trivia videos on Tuesday. And I think our live stream will finally talk about restaurants we should try during the Christmas week and up to New Year's.
Unless there's more Disney news to talk about, which there might be.
Yeah.
I never know.
You released a video today, right?
Yeah, so I did a time-lapse video of me doing a Lego build just because I want to learn and just get into time-lapse and just
Something fun.
something different.
Hey, Ron.
Cool.
Mary's
Yep.
in Carpenter Elbow.
Coffin her elbow.
Oh, no.
Coffin her elbow.
We're gonna welcome in Taste Buds Philly.
Taste Buds Philly, welcome in.
Welcome in. All right, Walt.
Wow, what's coming up, man?
We're Mouth Talk. We have a YouTube channel. Check us out. No, we have. Let's see what's coming up. Well, Tuesday, Disanity is Games Week, and it's going to be word scramble. So we're going to have words,
Ooh.
Disney words. Could
Ooh.
be characters. Could be this. Could be a ride. It could be whatever. You have to
Okay.
unscramble the word.
That's
And
cool.
we're gonna
Yeah, I like
probably do that this week. And of course, Universal opens this coming week, so we're hoping to have a vlog from that by the end of the week as well. And non-sports.
Is today the Tiki Room today, or
Today is Tiki Room. Yeah, I always forget about the daily Disney discussion. I do it every day. But yes, the daily Disney discussion. I know I'm getting old. I can't remember anything.
Yeah, I got to
The
remember
daily
that.
Disney discussion, and today it's on the Tiki Room, which is a lot of fun. And thank you for having me, and it's great to be here with everybody. They're all great channels, and I'm honored to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
thanks.
This
Thanks
was
for coming
fun.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's fun.
especially at last notice there popping on. It was great. And yeah, we've enjoyed your daily show too. It's
Yes.
Thanks.
talking about the rides is always a fun thing, and
Something different.
it's good. So what's going on with us?
Us, well, we have our Wednesday show at 7:00. Do you remember what
Wednesday
it's what
show
it's about?
this Wednesday
I didn't
is
take that.
our 25th anniversary show. So it's our wedding anniversary. We're going to be doing talking about wedding stuff, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
Our anniversary stuff.
All right.
And then next Sunday at 11, we're going to be
it'll be our
Oh, it's
2-year
our
anniversary.
2-year
for YouTube.
anniversary, and hopefully all you guys are gonna make it on at some point.
Yes.
Hopefully, if you weren't, I thought all you guys should have been on that invite, so I sent out an invite to like 15 people or so who've helped us in our success over the last couple of years.
Mm.
So hopefully it's an ongoing discussion for a
invite
couple
us.
of hours.
Yeah. So
And-
if you haven't received it, you want to be on, just message you, right? On
Yes,
Twitter or
definitely.
whatever.
Anybody else wants to be on, just send me a message on Twitter and I'll
Next
send you
Sunday?
the link.
Next Sunday. Yeah. Yep.
Next Sunday at 11. Yes.
11. Yep. Yep.
And in our
AM?
shameless pitch for watch hours, I think we are 105
Yes.
hours away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
You got
So if
it.
you guys share us out,
give or take 50.
pimp us out.
You might have got that today with a 2-hour stream.
Yeah, I was going to say probably. I know I've been
Hopefully-
running yours since I've gotten mine. I've gotten all my stuff, so I'm all
Oh,
set up.
We
So
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and everybody in the chat and anybody who's watching this replay, thank
Yeah,
you all. I know that
yes.
some people have been watching our videos and making comments and whatnot,
Yeah.
and we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll be there in no time. Hopefully, within a week or two, maybe
Yeah.
even, and then it goes to the YouTube
Board or whatever.
monetary
Decision
team.
making people.
I was surprised mine when it happened real fast. Whenever I got the emails and everything.
And mine took
Did?
forever.
Yeah,
Really?
and I was surprised because one, with them not having people working there, which they must have, but then it was a holiday weekend and everything just went boom, boom, boom. So
Awesome.
hopefully it works out
great.
for you all.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of
Go
people.
in a candy, Mom.
Yes, and
I got your pins. I'm gonna open them up. I got them yesterday in the mail.
yeah,
So-
they've been doing mail trading, pin trading.
Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take pictures of the pins I have and put it on Instagram. And if anyone wants to trade, they can message that way or something like that. I don't know.
And what you guys want to
Candy, Mom, can you start from the beginning?
yeah.
It's so funny.
Did you want to mention the show that you've been working on?
Me? What?
Yes, your little group there.
Oh, we
Did
can.
you want to or not? Do you think it's
But we still gotta narrow it down. There's a group of there's 4 channels, six women, right? 4 women, 2 teen.
four
And
women
we're
and two
right.
teens?
So yeah. So Melissa is part of it. Meredith is part of it, and Donna Jaworski is part of it, and then my Sophie and Meredith Madison is also in it. So we're trying to lock in a name. It's gonna be once a month, kind of like the Five Foolish Mortals type setup.
But not as good.
So yeah, so we're trying to lock in a name. I think we narrowed it down to 3. We're definitely gonna just do it once a month. We have to lock in a date and a day and time. We haven't done that yet. And then figure out what subject matter we want to talk about. And I think we could just kind of do it on different channels, not just on ours,
I
that
vote.
way everybody else has an
I vote-
opportunity.
I vote for Pixie Chicks.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's the one that came up with that Pitsy check thing. So yeah, so I'm waiting for I think Melissa and Donna to respond, and then we're gonna kind of just lock it in. Maybe we could have a vote. Like if we have say the 3 that we're kind of toying with, maybe we could I don't know. Maybe we could have everyone vote which one.
Did you send her a message today, Stacy? Was it today?
I think I sent the message yesterday morning.
Yeah,
I'll make sure.
We'll see.
Through the messenger thing. So.
Put up a Twitter poll. That's it.
Yeah.
A Twitter poll. Ooh.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can throw that out.
That's what we did.
That'll be
Yeah.
fun. Maybe we can do that.
That's how we got the name Disanity.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's a
Cool.
good idea.
All right. So is that about?
And then we have some video ideas. So
Oh yeah, we had another brainstorming session. We have a bunch of ideas that
Yeah.
we need to try to bring to fruition. So hopefully things are going to start turning. Some fun stuff is going to start turning up.
and then I want us try. We have some channels that I've been talking with. Maybe we can have them as a guest and kind of do our crazy, not so prime time or whatever it's called.
you
you know?
are guest, yes.
Yeah. So
We have some more openings for the Tron guessing
yes.
ride thing.
So that'll be good too.
Even though now it's way out there. Who knows? Who knows when Tron's going to open?
Right. I know. It's kind of put a
damper on things.
yeah.
But anyways, well, thank you all for being our guests. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chats, for stopping on by. Don't forget to do your duty.
And it's a big duty.
And we will see you all next time.
In the chats.
When it stops.
On the
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye,